Arthur, this is a chance for you to show a different side of yourself so the public can see who you really are. And I don't think you should smoke. I think it makes you look cavalier.
Okay.
We need to use this time to show people that you're human. They need to understand you were sick, delusional.
Mm-hmm.
You're not Joker. You're Arthur Fleck. Don't worry. You're gonna be great. Arthur.
Hey, panelists, welcome back to the show. I'm Mark.
And I'm Becky.
And I'm Robert.
And this is Panels of Pixels podcast. And this episode of the podcast, we're going to be covering Joker Folie Adieu from 2024, which just came out, which is a sequel to what? Joker?
Mm-hmm.
Joker. Yeah, the first Joker.
Which came out, what, 4 years ago?
Good question.
Yes. I think it's 2008, 2019. I think it's 2019.
Oh, 5 years ago. Jeez. Rob's looking.
Yeah, I'm looking. So Joker came out in 2019.
Wow.
Yay!
Yeah,
I get a sticker.
So it came out literally during the pandemic. So everybody was like, oh, we're going to watch this now. So,
which I'm sure lifted everyone's spirits.
At the time, it was very interesting, intriguing for the first Joker movie and did very well. So with that, Becky, could you read us the synopsis of the actual film that we're covering today?
Joker Folie Adieu finds Arthur Fleck institutionalized at Arkham, awaiting trial for his crimes as Joker. While struggling with his dual identity, Arthur not only stumbles upon true love, but also finds the music that's always been inside him. And boy, did they hammer that home.
Well, they had to hire somebody to come in who is musically inclined, which was Lady Gaga.
I didn't hate her.
I honestly, as an artist, I can't hate her. She's very entertaining. She has, I'm not saying entertaining in a sense of musically, but I'm saying visually as well. So I'm very intrigued with her as a character in music and film. Because, as we all know, she had done A Star is Born. And I thought she did well with that remake. Because, the original was, with A Star is Born, and not to digress, everybody, but the fact is, A Star is Born was starring at that time, originally back in the late 70s, early 80s, Chris Christopherson and Barbara Streisand. And I thought that her and, Bradley Cooper and her.
Well, Star is Born is that was the third version. Yeah, that they made.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of them.
What?
Not a one.
Really? Okay.
No.
They're entertaining, and they do pull the tears from your eyes, honestly, in some way. Depends on which one you watch. But they do. And I thought Lady Gaga did very well with it. Bradley Cooper was great in it. Chris Christopherson, and then Barbara Streisand did very well in the 70s. And then there was one before that, too.
There was. Trying to think who it was. Let me see here. Once again.
Okay. Yeah, right.
So yeah, the one in 1976 was with Chris Christopherson and Barbara Streisand,
Hmm?
and then there was a let's see here. By the way, you could probably cut this part here since it's taking so long.
Yeah, that's fine.
Um, the original was in 1937.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, which included what? Previous remakes of the original 1937 film includes the 1954 musical, the 1976 rock musical, the Bollywood romance one. There was one from Bollywood. Um, there's one with Jamie Foxx in 2000.
What?
Let's see. However, oh no, Jamie Foxx and Oliver Stone was seriously interested in remaking the film. That would have been a very different movie.
It would be more hip hop.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It was also announced that Clint Eastwood was in talks to direct Beyonce in a third American remake.
Wow.
Interesting. So there was a lot of people, but yeah, I guess the original was in 1937.
Yeah. Well, the fact is that they basically within this particular movie for Joker 2, as it were, they used Lady Gaga because of her musical prowess and her acting prowess because she was in that particular movie. And honestly, Lady Gaga is talented. Honestly, she is a talented person as far as being an actress, as well as a singer and an actual songwriter as well. So I think they try to market this movie on this, but
Well, this movie did get a lot of marketing, and it was probably one of the most anticipated movies of the entire year.
yeah,
Especially ever since it got announced. I have never been. It's funny. I've never been a Lady Gaga fan, especially in the beginning of her career. I really
Really?
didn't like. Yeah, I'd never liked her because of the theatrics.
Okay.
I hate celebrities with all the theatrics and all this stuff. It
Oh,
just
the meat suit
yeah,
and yeah,
and
that I didn't like that either. But I love her
but
music.
yeah, but over the years, just listening to her music, and especially when she was singing with Tony Bennett,
Mhm.
um, the woman is just absolutely incredible. She has an incredible voice.
Yeah, she's got a range.
So I started liking some of the stuff that she did, and I don't mind, watching her. I think she's still a little eccentric out there. But that being said, I think for this movie, she was so underutilized. It was incredible.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree. Yeah, yeah.
So
She has range, whether it be for acting jobs or musical chops, as I like to say it.
yeah, no, her acting is pretty good. I'm
It's
not going
pretty
to say
good.
it's well, I mean, I'll
It's
say
not
it is Oscar worthy
Academy
because she
Award.
did get nominated, I believe.
Yeah,
But that being said, I mean, it's not like I would go to the theater to watch a Lady Gaga movie.
yeah,
So, but that being said, I mean, I just, yeah, this movie, and I'll start it off. I mean, this movie was disappointing to me because of so many reasons. I think that Todd Phillips did an incredible job with the first movie, a movie
hmm
that only cost $55 million and went ahead and grossed over $1 billion.
yeah,
I came out of the first movie out of the theater like I saw something that I have never seen in my life. First of all,
Yes.
they took a character from a comic book and really, really went deep inside of what maybe this, character can actually be. But it also touched upon a lot, on mental health and just a lot of, and especially the look of New York even though it's Gotham, but it was like New York back in the 70s,
Yeah.
which I definitely remember. But
Yeah, same here.
yeah, but that being said, yeah, I mean, it was just incredible, and I think Joaquin Phoenix did a fantastic job. He transformed himself into that character very well.
Yeah.
This movie went ahead, and all of a sudden, it became a courtroom drama, and there was no Joker-esque kind of things happening. I think a lot of people were hoping that he would be more of the Joker, like in the comic books and stuff, and and things like that. But the fact that they introduced Harvey Dent, and it was just a name,
Hmm.
Harley
Yeah.
Quinn. I think that Lady Gaga was not the person for for
The
Harley Quinn, but
character.
then again,
Yeah.
neither was Joaquin Phoenix, and he did a good job.
Hmm.
I just think that they took that character in the wrong direction. So yeah, there was just a lot of things that just really bothered me about this. And I think that Todd Phillips probably, I don't think he wanted to make this movie. That's my understanding. I think it's like he didn't want to make this movie. I think he did this movie just so to say, hey, listen, the first one made $1 billion and I'm just gonna do whatever the hell I want
Yeah.
and not be checked for it.
Yeah, I I really liked the cinematography. Um, I really liked the acting. I just don't think the writing was good. And like you said, they could have made that an hour. What's that? Law and Order. And it would have been just as,
It was like
would
an
probably would have been more
SVU,
entertaining. Yeah.
Right.
Law and
And
Order SVU episode with the Joker.
I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like every scene with Joaquin Phoenix, his acting was amazing, but I feel like they forced his meeting with Harley. That did not that did not make any sense. I don't like that they took their relationship in such a strange direction. You don't have to keep in line with the comics, but that just went way off. And then towards the end, the way she just walks away, that's not the Joker and Harley Quinn. That's just not their relationship. And I felt like they really had an opportunity to play on that and they messed it up. Um, and it was too long. I think you could have really made that an hour fun little series to throw onto HBO Max or something. And, that would have been way more entertaining to watch than
It's
this.
interesting you say that. It does seem like something that should have been made for streaming,
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, here's something to tie you over before the actual movie.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, it wasn't that. And it's like you said, it wasn't the Harley Quinn that we know of. And the fact that here's the thing, a lot of people got pissed off from what I hear that he renounced the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So all of a sudden, he wasn't the Joker anymore, and people were like, "Whoa, wait a minute, what the hell? What's going on with that?" And it's because I don't know. It's just all of a sudden he's not the Joker. Harley Quinn now doesn't want to have anything to do with him.
Yep.
And so she walks away. But one of the biggest things that really bothered me about this movie was the singing. I don't think it should have been a musical. But if it was going to be a musical, I think then, you know what? Be a musical. This was more, first of all, Todd Phillips actually, from what they said, was that they had them sing off key. So that's why for me, it bothered the crap out of me, this movie,
Mhm.
this
Yeah.
movie, because Lady Gaga, who has a phenomenal voice, she would sing, but then Joaquin Phoenix, who actually can sing because he did Walk the Line.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they could have had a great powerhouse there of, people that can actually sing, but they had him sing off key. So that's why none of the musical scenes or anything like that really I can't think of not a single musical scene that I could go, wow, that was pretty awesome between both of them. Nothing like that.
Yeah.
And so that's why, and then it seemed like most of it was in his head. And sometimes it didn't seem that way, which was kind of crazy. But yeah, this was a movie that I just did not understand what I was watching, why it was happening. And it's like you said, like it was beautifully shot, but not, I mean, it wasn't a movie that it's not a movie I could sit there and I have a friend that he said that he watched it a second time and he was able to appreciate it the second time more than the first time.
Was that Adam?
Yes. And I just can't, I might watch it again and maybe appreciate it 1% more.
Yeah.
But I just don't see myself doing that.
I don't see myself doing it as either. Honestly, my first thought, because I had said to you guys, I actually watched the movie, fell asleep, and 3/4 into the film, I fell asleep, obviously. I had to go back to it, go again, and you guys said, hey, you got to watch the last quarter, and which I did. And I'm like, what am I watching? And I had so much hopes for this film for what it was. Now, mind you, I got a screener, everybody. Yeah, I'll see it. I got a screener. But the fact that I fell asleep through it is a problem. Because there was so much stagnation on what was going on within the character of Arthur Fleck. And then I find out, okay, Harley Quinn is not like what we got from the Batman, the animated series. The Harley Quinn that we get literally is, she was a therapist at one point.
Well,
She studied it.
She studied.
In the movie, she studied it.
And then she put herself voluntarily into the asylum.
Mm-hmm.
And then through that, she creates this relationship with Arthur, which is an infatuation, obviously. So, and then she gets in his head. And then Arthur at the time is in a form of turmoil because of what he had done on what was the Murray Franklin show and killing Murray Franklin, and then dealing with the repercussions and what he had done on live TV. And then harboring this, what would you call it? I don't know. What would you call it? An infatuation of celebrity. And then he is the Joker. So he's dealing with this duality of himself. And then you got Harley Quinn herself, Harley Quinzel, and she's infatuated with Arthur. And
she's infatuated with Joker.
Well, the Joker character, which is Arthur. Yeah.
Right.
So, and it's just like, what's going on? But I have issues within the film too, because we see her at certain points and we don't see her at certain points in certain scenes. I don't know if you saw that, but I have seen it. Where she is supposed to be in a scene and she's not.
Well, one of the things that people have questioned is, so how is it that she got to visit him
in his cell?
Cell. Now, they're saying that because she's rich, maybe that, she probably, bribed somebody to get in there. So be it.
Yeah.
But she was just basically a groupie. And the one thing that a lot of fans know is that the Joker and Harley Quinn, they have a very turbulent relationship.
Yeah, they do.
It's toxic, and at the same time, they're both crazy. Um,
And they love each other.
they love each other up until now.
Yeah.
Now, recently she pretty much hates him. So she doesn't have a relationship with him anymore. She has a relationship, I think, with what is it? The chick with the plants,
Poison
Really?
Ivy?
Poison Ivy. So
I'd watch that.
yeah,
That's on the DC. That's actually on Max, I think, right?
right. But I think they've actually translated some of that into the comic books, which
Wait.
Yeah, they
whatever.
do.
But the thing is that, yeah, the like if as much as I hate the movie, the first Suicide Squad, that
Wasn't worth it.
relationship with Joker, who was Jared Leto, that's basically what it is her always after him, trying to please him, and he's basically just kind of using her in whichever way he can, and she just forgives him all the time because he basically got into her head, and she just adores him for that. In this one, it just seems like Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn was just more of a groupie. And as soon as the Joker persona, which he renounced, went away, she just went, "Oh, that's it. Then I'm not interested in this guy anymore."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was just kind of very, very,
Vague.
And maybe
yeah.
that was the point. Maybe they wanted to do just a switcheroo, I guess. A
I don't
lot of
mind
this
somebody. I don't mind.
conversation is me trying to make sense of something that can't be made sense of, so bear with me. But that was,
It's very vague in a sense that they're trying to make it more realistic to the people out there in this world. And
which the people,
a lot of people go to movies to go away, step away from reality, to go into fantasy. And this didn't really stereotype anything that was fantasy. It stereotyped basically everything that was reality. And everybody's like, well, I don't want to see what's reality. I'll
Yeah,
just
but Mark,
watch it. Yeah.
the first movie is still reality. It's like the
Mhm.
Joker based on reality. The first movie was just
Yeah.
watching a man descend into madness because of his environment. But people picked on him. He has this disorder where he laughs and people find him, strange because of that. His mom letting him think that, he's so wonderful and all these things. And, and it's just
Sorry.
all these things that made that movie. And you watch Joaquin Phoenix basically transform himself. Like everybody knows about the Joker character.
Yeah. No.
And so in that movie, you got to see about 3 or 4 times where the Joker character seemed like he was coming out.
Mhm.
Everything from when he shot those kids in the subway
Mhm.
to when until like there were so many parts where you see him and you go, "Oh wow, there is how the Joker is getting born." But then the next scene will take it up a notch. Up until the very end when he was on top of a car and everybody was just shouting his name, and
Mhm.
you're like, "Okay, there is the birth of the Joker." In this movie, again, it was just a courtroom drama with some singing, but it wasn't the Joker. It wasn't like, hey, now let's see now let's see more of that madness of this man. This basically became he's delusional and he has mental issues and all these things, which the first movie kind of covered. In the first movie, you kind of get that, oh, yes, this movie definitely deals with mental health issues and things like that, but it was just something so magical about it and so great. This one, again, courtroom drama that just didn't go anywhere. And the only time I would say that this movie got interesting was when he became the Joker to try to defend himself.
Mhm.
You saw the actual Joker come out,
Mhm.
and
But then
then
it's gone.
it was gone. it was just gone. And you're like, wait a minute, you had it. You almost had it. Like all of a sudden I got interested in the movie. I was like, okay, this is becoming interesting. And then it just went away.
Yeah, they dropped the ball in a sense of where the character was that they wanted to create. And if they were able to do a third, which if I don't know by the end of this,
No,
there's no plans for that.
Todd Phillips actually said that he does not want to make a third, and
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix is not going to make a third.
he's not going to do a third, obviously. But the thing is that, like you said, it's the characterization of the character itself from the comics portrayed into it to make it what it should be. Will we ever see Michael Keaton, stand face to face with him? No. Will we ever see George Clooney?
Well, this was
Christian
not
Bale
this is
or
not a
anything.
Joker in any of those universes.
Exactly. But the thing is that we would never see a Batman face to face with this person at this point.
Which I'm fine with.
But
I don't mind taking a ride with this man becoming the Joker and now becoming, because the Joker is also what I would say a criminal genius. I don't mind seeing him become that. I don't mind going on that journey with him into like this madness where he becomes who he becomes.
Yeah.
That I don't mind. I don't have to see other heroes. I mean, as a matter of fact, the first movie, what did it do? It showed a little bit of the Joker. No, I'm sorry. It showed Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I don't recall what else there was. I mean, the fact that it says Gotham, was whatever, but.
What Batman Begins is what you're talking about. Yeah.
No, not Batman Begins.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think the whole time I'm watching, I'm expecting this moment. I kept waiting. I was like, okay, this is when he's going to escape, and this is when the Joker's going to be the Joker. But it never happened, and when he does escape, they missed a great opportunity when he was in the back seat of the car with those fans to at least give us something for the last 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
But they still didn't do it. But I think this would have been a better prequel than a sequel, because this to me was the Arthur Fleck show. I enjoyed what Joaquin Phoenix did with this character this time around. I just don't think that the writers did him enough justice to let him bring out the Joker that, like you said, Rob, that's what we watched this movie to see.
Yeah.
I mean, that the guards, this whole movie, he was just beat up. Everyone was just beating him up. Even Harley she'd lift him up, but then the second he showed his Arthur self, she's gone. And that scene when the guards, he's on TV as the Joker, and he comes back and they just immediately take him to the shower. I don't even understand what happened there.
In the shower, well, he got raped in the shower.
Did?
Which which is like, why show this scene?
Why show that? But there was to me, maybe I need to go back and watch it again, but it didn't make sense to me. Sure, the guard's annoyed, but you're that angry because he did this on TV, so you're gonna do. It did not make a lick of sense to me, that whole scene, and I don't think it was necessary. If they wanted to put him in the hole so that she magically shows up to do what they did, they could have got him in the hole. What was the point in that? And I just don't understand that guard being so angry that that's the path that they took.
I mean, they could have been angry and everything, but my whole thing was like, all right, so you're angry and you did this. What was the outcome of that? And there was none.
Right.
If they would have followed through with like, hey, now he got angry and now he became the Joker. Now he goes back after the guards for what they did to him, then sure, do that.
It would have been useful.
Right.
Yeah.
but they didn't even do that. And so one of the things that I heard was that, so Todd Phillips, because Warner Brothers said, hey, for $55 million, you made us $1 billion, go ahead and make a second movie. They never did test screenings with this.
Nope.
They didn't do test screenings with DC fans.
Nope.
And so it was an unchecked movie that just got out into the public, which I'm sure if they would have done those test screenings, they would have come back to him and says, yo, no, no, don't do this. This ain't going to happen. So, but once again, I didn't see the reason for it to be a musical. And if they were going to do a musical, man, they should have knocked it out of the park. I mean, you have one of the greatest singers in the world there. Then let her sing, and if this is in his mind, then in his mind, like all of us do, we may sing and we might be off key, but in our mind, we sound phenomenal. They let it be, that he sounds great in his mind. But instead, it was just two people that are just couldn't be, like, they were so opposite of each other when it came to the singing part of it.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I read that when the scenes where it's actually the two of them together, that was meant to be not perfect, very low tone, kind of off key. But then when they were in his full fantasy, that's when it was more of a show. They were louder, they were clearer. I read that was on purpose.
Right. Oh, no, he was told to sing off key. He was told to, not to try to have a better voice, keep it more under the Arthur Fleck kind of, voice. And I guess the way he sounds. But I thought that was a mistake. I just think that if it was in his mind, he should have sounded like he was, a rock star. And then if he starts, that could have given it away, meaning like, oh, when he's singing for real, he sounds like crap.
Yeah.
and when he sings in his brain, he's like all of a sudden a superstar.
Yeah.
I could have taken that. But like I said, it was just, this movie was all over the place.
It was.
And unfortunately, they did a character that in the first movie was just so great and just such a good gem to look at and to watch that movie. They should have followed it up with, hey, let's just give you more of that.
Dive headfirst into insanity.
Yeah, but it's when they announced, Harley Quinn, I was like, okay, that's really cool. That and they're gonna have Lady Gaga, sure. But then they said, oh, it's gonna be a musical, and I was like, what? Are they kidding about this? And at first I thought they were kidding about it, but I was like, oh, I guess they're not.
They wanted that fan favorite, which is Harley Quinn, I think.
They did, but I think they could have, just like they did. Look, if you take the Joker and you reimagine him the way you did in the first movie, take Harley Quinn and reimagine her in such a way that you take it so far out there like you did in the first movie. But again, she was so underutilized and she felt more of a groupie instead of, whatever, that's why I was just like underwhelmed by it.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed in how they let her character play out. It didn't have, like I said earlier, didn't have to match the Harley Quinn that we know, but when she showed up at Gotham as the therapist that interrogates him for however many hours to see if he's fit to stand trial.
Yeah.
That would have made more sense to me, but just her randomly, him walking by and she just happens to be there, and then, this guard that absolutely loathes him, but it's like, hey, I'm going to take you to a singing class, and put them right next to each other, and just a bunch of weirdness unfolds after that just did not make a whole lot of sense to me.
And then it seems like she, according to what I've been seeing, like it seems like she planned it all. Like she planned
That's
for
what she
him,
said. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's just like I don't know. It's like you said. So like in the original animated show, and I think in the comic books and everything, she is the therapist that's
At Arkham. Yeah.
at
Hmm.
Arkham trying to deal with the
The
Joker.
Joker. And then she
And
falls in love with
she
him.
falls in love with him because he then him being the person that he is, all of a sudden he turns things around on her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she all of a sudden, starts
Succumbs to his
to his madness and to his, to his way of being and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that would have been fantastic to see.
Hmm.
Yeah.
If
I would
all of a
love to
sudden
see
this
that.
could have been
Yeah.
like, it's not only the Joker, but this is now the Harley show where now you see her descend into madness.
Yeah.
And that would have been fantastic to see that and then see probably the Joker, like, kind of like just nurture that along as they're going crazy and doing all kinds of crazy things around the town and just, raising hell. That would have been fantastic to see. And yet, if you did something like that, then I think a musical can actually come out of that.
It would have been fun.
Because it
Yeah.
would have been fun.
Yeah.
It would have been fun, but it also would have been frightening because now you're going, oh my God, these guys are like really taking it so far.
Yeah, they're manipulating the story of the character and moving forward. And they could actually do a third film where it would, if they do a third film, they could actually go into Harley Quinn and the Joker.
Let's say
together.
that even if they didn't do a third film, let's say this
That
was
would
it.
have been satisfying.
Yeah.
As long as you did it in a certain way that, hey, these two crazy people, now they're like, they're like the Gotham City, criminal duo.
Yeah.
And somehow hint at, oh, okay, now there is a Batman coming out. Or hint at other, what I would say, other criminals,
Yeah.
from their rogue gallery. That would have been great.
Like
Mhm.
Clayface or
Anybody.
Anybody else, you could have done, another Riddler,
Penguin.
you could have done another Penguin, whatever it is, or whatever. It's just
Just
it
to
could
keep you hanging a little bit.
yeah, it keep you hanging in the sense that you go, wow, this world is now developing.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they might say, no, this is the last movie, this is just to show you that, hey, yeah, this is where it starts.
yeah,
And that's it. It would have left you wanting for more, even if you might not ever get more. But you would have been like, oh, okay, that was great. That was a great way to leave it off. Like, because right now, let me tell you, I don't know if you guys have been watching The Penguin on HBO
I
Max.
love it. Obsessed.
Oh, Becky's been watching it constantly.
Freaking fantastic.
Oh my gosh. You want to do a podcast with me?
It's basically The Sopranos in Gotham. That's all it is. And it's been absolutely amazing. I mean, I just can't say enough about it.
They got it right.
Yeah.
100%. I can't, I mean, there's nothing I can even, I would have to really look to find something that I did not like about that show.
Yeah.
Joker, Folie, Adieu. However you say that. There were some, if I can say a few things that I liked, which are mainly shots. I loved when they were taking him to meet his attorney and they're walking through the rain and there's that overhead shot of the colorful umbrellas against this just black and white, dark, and he's just standing there wet and in the rain. I thought that was a brilliant shot. And then when they put him back in his cell and he's got he lights the cigarette, which again is another moment I thought, ooh, here comes the Joker.
Correct.
But it went nowhere. But they closed the door and it's the sunlight, the light behind him, but you can't really see his face. And then he lights that cigarette. I thought that was a really good shot. I liked when the courthouse blew up. I need to ask really quick. I watched this 3 times and I'm 99.9% certain when he's waking up and walks past and you see Harvey Dent laying there, half his face was messed up.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is that
interesting.
right?
Interesting you say that. Yes, a lot of people go, "Oh yeah, it got mutilated." And when I looked very carefully, like, look, it has scratches.
But you get it. It's foreshadowing. I'm
It's
not saying he
foreshadowing,
was
correct?
like
It's a reference to the
bone,
comics.
Oh,
but
no.
there
He got
was.
his
I
face a
think
little
that
bit.
was a shot meant
Right,
to
and that was
show that.
another missed opportunity
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
what they should have done is really messed up his face, but they didn't. They just had some scratches on it. I was like, come on.
it was just enough though to make me happy.
It wasn't enough for me. I needed to see more gore.
He wanted to see the
Well,
Half
if you
his face
squinted
gone.
through your eyes,
the
it
Dark
looked
Knight
really bad.
Rises.
Um,
I don't know if
I.
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, go.
I did not care for. I didn't care for the testimony of the neighbor who he thought he was dating for so long, but I did
Oh,
like
yeah.
that they gave us flashbacks into the first movie to
Yeah.
because that was really the only.
Well, did he kill her in the first one?
No, he left her alone.
He left her
when-
alone. Yeah, it
when-
was
yeah,
one of
he
those
was in her
things where he
apartment.
stalked
I thought
her.
That's when
killed
it
her.
all clicked to him that he is not in a his
Real
reality is
relationship.
not reality,
Right.
and that's
Yeah,
when he
okay.
Yeah.
really started to slip into the Joker.
Like he didn't realize what reality and fantasy left off.
And then it all came together.
And then she actually realized that, and that's what happened in the first film.
Right.
I'm glad that they actually did bring her back for that. That was actually really good.
I just like that it gave us the flashbacks. But
I would say one of the parts that I really, really loved
Mm-hmm.
was who's the actor, the little person that was in the first movie?
oh, Puddles.
Puddles.
Yeah.
His testimony was
Heartbreaking.
incredible and heartbreaking.
Oh, it was.
Because he was he like Joker's like, "Babe, I left you alone," and it's like no, man, you became my nightmare.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You are my nightmare from this point on for the rest of my
You
life.
destroyed my life, literally, is what
and
he said.
it was such a
It's so
heartbreaking
sad.
moment, and it was just like, wow. And the way he walked away and everything, it was just like, this is a broken man, because even the one person that he trusted, the one person that accepted him for who he was,
Mm-hmm.
basically betrayed that trust, and it just made him feel like, he could never go to sleep again because of what he saw from him.
Yeah.
And that was such a great moment. I was like, why aren't there not better, just like moments like this throughout the movie?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that scene, I would say I liked a lot. That was a great, great, great scene.
I liked the scene where he was being interviewed by the TV reporter. I thought that was another moment where something better was going to happen, but I really liked his pushback when the guy's asking him questions and he's like, "Do you really care?" Just that was an honest, the one honest moment I think Arthur Fleck had. He's like, "You don't care." And he's right. Y'all, I'm just a
story.
What do you call it? Yeah, a story.
Yeah.
Something for y'all to entertainment. That's what I am to y'all is
Right.
is entertainment. Which would have been another opportunity for them to turn him into some serious entertainment.
Oh my God! If he would have grabbed the guy right there, like in live, like on live TV,
Yes.
just, beat the crap out of him or something like that. Something that just brings out the Joker again. And, it would have been nice to see the Joker come back. Like, even if he was fighting it, just
Right.
make it seem like, okay, so he does have a double personality,
Yeah, it does.
but nah, they didn't do that. So, but very few moments. I mean, you know what scene I loved? when Harley and the Joker are coming out of the courthouse singing, going down the steps. Oh wait, that didn't happen because they sure marketed the crap out of that and
They
showed
did.
it. They showed it on
You're
trailers. They showed it,
right.
but it's like, oh wait a minute, that didn't
It's not
happen.
there.
But they gave you them singing outside of Gotham or
Exactly.
Arkham.
So, and that just seems to be a problem with movies nowadays, where marketing teams are using clips that are not being used in movies just to try to bring people to the theater, and people are complaining, and people are getting to the point where they're getting tired of it, and I'm wondering at what point will they be now held, accountable for that, because
like
you're
the fake
basically,
out is what
yeah,
you're
well, it's
saying.
basically false advertisement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, like kind of like what we're with Rogue One with the TIE fighter at that point when you see what's her name? Jur Inso or
What's her name? Jen Erso, something like that.
Jen Erso.
Right.
And they're out there and you think, oh, she's face to face with this TIE fighter at this point, and we got that, and it was never in the film.
Well, from what I read, was that they actually filmed that just for the trailer and nothing else. It wasn't even a cut scene,
Yeah.
which I think that was sad.
Yeah.
So,
And we never got it. And then it's like, we all get there and it's like, oh, it's not here.
don't get me wrong. I think Rogue One is a great movie, and
I love that movie
and I
too.
started
Yeah.
hating that movie. I went to the movies and I saw it, and I was like, "What the hell did I just watch?" And
as season went by, he started to love it.
As time went by, and then I saw Andor.
Mm-hmm.
I went back to the movie and I went, "Oh, I actually like this movie a lot now
Yeah,
because of Andor." But and I think it was again because of those things. You got to see
something
Jen,
that never
Jen
happened.
Erso with the plans running on the beach. That never happened.
Yeah.
You got to see a lot of little, and it was like, what happened there? And of course, later you find out that they did a lot of reshoots because the movie just wasn't working the way they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this is what happens with marketing teams where it's like, well, we need to get something out there. And it's like, well, what I have is, I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. Well, we'll use it on, for now.
Yeah.
So.
But I always refer to that as a reference too, because I did love that movie when it first came out, because it was the untold story that we never got from between episode 4 to episode 5. That in between.
No, episode 3 and 4. It was before episode 3. 4. Before episode 4.
Yeah, before episode 4. Yeah, correct. And it's like, because Leia talks about the plans and the whole whatever that happened before it, and we all wanted to see that movie, and they created a whole saga within this particular movie that we didn't know we wanted, and we got it, and I loved it from the day one that I saw it. And
it took me a few years.
It took you a few years, but the thing was, I loved it, and I have the poster still to this day. And yeah, everybody's like, "Oh, Rob's gonna try to buy them from Mark, probably." But
no, I think that when it comes to like Joker, I mean, will I like this movie in 5 years?
Probably not.
Maybe. But right now, I don't like it.
I was not impressed, honestly. I had high hopes for it. I could see where they were going with it, but honestly, in my honest opinion, it was a nice try.
But yeah, as of today, I give it a 3.
I give it about a 3 as well. But the thing is like, give it another 2 or 3, maybe 4 years. I'll probably give it maybe a 4.
3.5.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Or it might go down to a 2.
yeah, I don't know.
Can I tell the theory?
Yeah, go ahead.
You have
Okay.
a theory, yeah, which I'm interested in hearing.
It's not my theory. I can't take credit for it, but the
Mm-hmm.
theory did make me think. All right, so I want to start with the opening of the movie with the cartoon.
Mhm.
Okay.
So you've got me in my shadow. And what happens in the cartoon? The shadow separates, takes over,
Mm-hmm.
and then abandons him to be destroyed by the cops or whatever. So can I say people's names on here? This is a Reddit post. Can I read it?
Go ahead.
Well,
Okay.
if they have a Reddit, I guess login, you could do that. I guess.
Well, it's Screen Rant shared it. Does that
That's
mean
fine.
I can read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to give them credit. Corky Paws 2910. Maybe the person that kills him in the end isn't Heath Ledger Joker. Maybe it was Jack Nicholson Joker. Haha, just kidding. Okay, hear this. Maybe Arthur, after realizing he wasn't the Joker and in his fragile mental state, the person that stabs him to death is himself. What we saw take place was in his mind, and it would make sense given the whole conceit. Maybe this is where we truly see him become the Joker, killing the part of his identity that was Arthur, like he's finally had just one very bad day and snapped. And now there is only the Joker. No more Arthur. Arthur is dead. Kind of like a Fight Club ending, but this time Tyler Durden actually wins type of scenario. And then he goes on to say, or maybe they no longer wanted to do this Joker shit and ran out of ideas, so they just killed him off or something. But
That sounds about right.
but I read that and I immediately thought about the cartoon, Me and My Shadow. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to choose to believe this because then this whole movie goes up to like a 3.25 instead of a 3. I think it's a cool theory, and I'm going with it because I
That's a
need
good
to.
idea. I really do like that idea.
Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but so the first movie
Mhm.
was supposed to end with Arthur slicing up his face
Yes.
with the
Just
smiles,
like-
just
like
like Heath Ledger,
Heath
right?
Ledger, and they
Christopher Nolan, who was still working with Warner Brothers,
correct.
put a stop to that
Yes.
because
I
he
did not know
said,
that.
yeah, he said, no, this is not the Nolan, Batman universe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because for this movie, which showed
The
that
kid,
character,
right?
yeah, that
Yeah.
character that killed Arthur, that all of a sudden, that he was going to have, he started slicing his face. People thought, oh, that's the Joker from, Dark Knight. And he actually said, I think in somewhere, he said, no, this is not supposed to be the same Joker.
Exactly.
This has nothing to do with the Nolan universe at all. But he couldn't stop it because he wasn't, working. He had nothing to do with any of that.
Yeah.
And he didn't approve any of that. But a lot of people thought that was the first thing people thought. It was like, oh, that's supposed to be the Heath Ledger Joker. And it's like, no. Yeah, this is just, again, Todd Phillips doing whatever he wanted and not having any control or somebody control him not to do shit like that.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's interesting. What Becky, that story. I think a lot of people are going to look at this movie and look at a lot of theories
Mm-hmm.
to try. I think in their heads they're trying to justify why this movie should be good, and they're going to try to go find all kinds of shit, all kinds of stuff. Everything.
I've been all over the internet.
Yeah, it's like people are going to just try to look for stuff so they could go, oh, wait a minute. Now this makes sense. And now, now I love this movie because of that.
Oh, I did.
And to
I
that
still
day,
don't love it.
I'm not that deep in that sense. So somebody's going to have to, prove it to me and show it to me.
So you're saying I just didn't convince you?
No, I'm just saying that. Well, that sounds, So in his mind, he looked like another person? Well, here's the
It's
question. I would believe that if that character that stabbed him, every time he was in the room, it just seems like nobody else saw that character. Like if you go back into the movie, like, did anybody ever notice that one particular guy in
that
there?
that actual
You know,
nurse or
or whoever
person,
that was. Yeah, it
orderly.
was that
Yeah,
person like always, like when you go back to a movie where they tell you, hey, it was always in his imagination. When you go back, you go, oh yeah,
like
I
one
can
flew
see
over the
you.
cuckoo's nest.
You
Is it
see
the same
all the
nurse?
you see all the clues. Well, more like the Sixth
Yeah,
Sense. Let's
yeah.
say in the Sixth Sense, there's so many clues that just give it away, saying this person is not alive. Spoilers for whoever didn't see Sixth Sense. But
oops.
so it would have been great if I go back now, oh, this person, nobody acknowledges this person, only Arthur sees him. And then maybe that could have been the Joker, like you just said. And so the Joker finally stabs him, and then now he's reborn. So it's basically him getting rid of himself or whatever it is. But I believe that other people did see him. So that's why for me, it's like, well, okay. Maybe that theory doesn't fly as well. Again, some people are trying to justify there. I know people are trying to fight for the movie. They're
I'm
doing
gonna
everything.
watch it again, and I'm gonna take notes on every one of those scenes, and
You
then we are all gonna get back together,
you let
and I'm
you
going to convince
you let me
both of
know.
you this movie was freaking brilliant.
You let me know.
Yeah. You let Rob know.
Mark's
He'll-
like, don't even call me, please.
no. Yeah, Rob will be like, all right, this is gonna be Filmtropolis, episode 1.
Yeah. One day I'll get that going.
By the way, Fantasy Picks movie edition, everybody. That's what we were talking about.
What?
Oh, that's what Rob had, and he's changing over too, right?
Yeah, we're just we're coming up with basically just a whole new format, and it's basically a new podcast.
All
So I
right.
used to have a podcast, of course, Fantasy Films movie edition, which Fantasy Picks movie edition, which what we were trying to do is do it just like Fantasy Picks football or something
Okay,
like.
that's what I thought. I was like,
Yeah,
wait.
Yeah.
what we were trying to do is say, okay, we're going to take the movies that didn't make it in the box office, that were overhyped and probably big budget movies. And by the way, that's another thing I'll talk about, Joker.
Yeah.
And because it didn't work, what we were going to do is we were going to do kind of a fantasy pick. In other words, hey, we're going to pick maybe a different script, maybe a different director, maybe different actors that could have probably made the movie
Ooh.
better, things like that. So we're probably going to take a little bit of that, but then now we're taking it beyond that and doing a lot more. We're hoping that probably by early next year
That
we'll.
sounds like fun.
So, cheap plug, everybody. So,
But going back to budget. So again, the first film was $55 million, made $1 billion. This thing was $200 million. And I'm saying to myself, where the hell did the $200 million go?
exactly.
Was $150 million of that for just Lady Gaga?
or Joaquin Phoenix? Who knows?
I don't know.
I mean, I would say salaries had to be because it was
Exponential.
not that. I don't think this movie had any more flair than the first one did, except
I mean, the
maybe
first
the
one had Robert De
explosion.
Niro.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I meant the like
Visual
visuals
effects and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just the explosion that happened. And
Or even the rental within New York City, too. Regardless, to film in New York City is ridiculously overpriced.
well, because I don't think right now they have the tax incentives that normally other cities give.
Hmm.
So that's why you don't. I mean, there has been a lot of filming in New York. I'm not sure what the tax incentives are right now. I know sometimes they make it very attractive for studios to say, "Hey, we're going to film in this city or maybe
Yeah.
in this country."
Yeah, because
Um,
the stairwell scene is always in the Bronx, and
right,
that's where it is. Um, they did do certain scenes within New York City, which I know because it's been filmed on YouTube, and they did have at least a week or 2 weeks of worth of filming
right.
with Lady Gaga and everything else going up the stairwell, as well as going up to the stairwell to the court case too. And that was a big, huge thing too. That was a big to do, and that takes a lot of money, honestly.
Yeah, but
But
not $200 million, dude. No.
no, not $200 million. Yes, but
And a lot of the and not a lot, and I think a lot of the songs that they were singing
yeah,
might be public domain.
possibly.
I have to double check on that. So yeah, no, I don't see. I don't know. Todd Phillips right now probably has a Swiss bank account, and 100 million of that is in that bank account right now.
Probably.
I don't know.
All right. Well, I think that about covers what we were going to talk about with Joker Folie Deux that came out in 2024.
So I guess we can all agree that we just weren't happy with this movie.
Correct.
I would agree. Yeah, I was
Okay.
not very happy at all with the movie.
Which
If I watch it again, I'm going to be really depressed.
I'm a DC girl. I love Joker's my favorite villain. I had high hopes. Mark can vouch that when we talked about having this discussion, I was ready to stand on my high horse and defend this movie with all that I have, but I fell off
Yeah.
that horse and it trampled me.
Yeah.
I am nothing but a sad.
Well, you could always watch the Harley Quinn show that's animated on
Yeah, what's that
HBO
about?
Max. You never watched it?
You
No,
haven't seen
I-
that movie. I mean,
No.
The show.
You have got to see that.
I made
It's
a
a
note
few
here.
seasons. You gotta
DC
watch
show
it.
on Max? Question mark.
Yes.
So what's it called?
Harley
It's
Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
Well, that's helpful.
Watch it. It's amazing. Kaylee Cuoco, who is
That's what you were talking about the other day.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh well, ask me what I'm doing when we hang up.
Exactly.
The first episode will give you, how can I say, will give you kind of like a view onto what you're going to get into for the rest of the season.
Exactly.
Because the first time I saw it, my mouth dropped open and said, "Oh, this is not for kids."
Oh no, it's not.
They
Good to
went ahead.
know.
Yeah, they went ahead and they took this really far.
But it's fun with Harley and Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
Woo!
And even Kite Man. So Kite Man is a character in Harley Quinn, and they gave him his own show. And that's funny too.
As well as Clayface and a few
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah,
too.
but no, Kite Man was the only one that got his own show. That's what I'm saying.
is
So
true.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it was
Yeah.
just like, and out of all characters, you're like, Kite Man, really? But it turned out to be very funny, and like I said, it's definitely made for adults.
It is. It is. So obviously, this show and this podcast is made for adults. So everybody knows that. So go watch Harley Quinn on Max and follow Becky as she probably will be responding to her watching on whether it be Twitter or Instagram or Facebook.
I'm just going to start a podcast and just call it Me Watching TV. And I'm just going to watch shows and talk to whoever's out there
And want to have fun.
while I'm watching
There
and
you
see
go.
what happens.
Just
You
make
heard
sure
it
that
here
just
first.
just make sure you don't record the show too. Because then you'll
Good
get,
tip. Then I might
yeah,
get in a little bit of trouble.
you might get
Yeah.
into a little trouble. You
Yeah.
watching it and commenting on it, it's been done before. Go ahead and do it. Knock yourself out. But as soon as the studio hears any dialogue, they're like, okay, cease and desist.
Oh no, I just mean watch the show and then after
Oh, I
just
thought you-
talk
I thought you
about
meant
it
like-
on a,
I thought
but
you meant
just
like-
talk to myself.
I thought you meant filming yourself watching it.
Live
No,
reaction.
I guess I would. That the title does give that impression.
Yeah.
I'm going to rethink that. I'll get back to you.
Well, here's a cool YouTube channel, right? You put on, let's say, Harley Quinn,
Yeah.
and all it is just your facial expressions for the next half an hour. Because you'll be like, and then, or you're laughing, stuff like that. But then I'm sure somebody will be like, that's all she does. And for some reason, I just got to keep watching.
It's not a bad idea.
And you can make money off of that, everybody.
There you go. Listen, there are people that make way too much money on YouTube for the most dumbest things, man. I mean, any look, I've seen things that are so stupid that people are making money. I was like, any other idea should be brilliant. And it just, there's an audience for everybody. So
There is,
That's
there
true.
is. There is.
so I think, Becky, you watching TV, somebody will be there. I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch TV with Becky.
Aw.
And they'll just put their iPad right next to them, and they'll watch the same thing you're watching, and you're reacting
same
and they're
time.
at the same time.
And
Even tell
cue
us,
it
like-
at the right time.
I am starting now.
Now.
And if it's
Oh, I love
funny,
it.
both of you will laugh at the same time. If it's scary, both of you would, probably, scream at the same, whatever it is. But yeah,
So
watching.
which one of you are going to start?
She goes, I need somebody else to do actually record.
Remember, the
this,
show
'cause I
is
don't
called
wanna do it."
Watching TV with Becky.
Right. Well, you're going to watch me watching the show.
You
Who's
just
gonna
That's
record
first
it and do it for
episode.
You
me?
just put a camera in front of you, then that's it. And once it's done, you hit stop, put it up on YouTube. Done.
I've never done anything on YouTube. Is it like complicated? Okay, I'm sorry. We
It's
can
not
talk
really
about this
that
later.
complicated, actually, Becky. I can tell
I'm
you.
Actually-
like really ready to do a
Yeah,
show.
actually, the new podcast that we're doing is going to be all YouTube based.
We're doing everything video wise. That's why we have video
People
cameras.
get to see our mugs.
Oh, that's fun. I want to be a guest.
Absolutely.
Obviously, we need a lady guest, so Rob knows this.
Well, I am happy to assist and plug my new show while helping you with your show.
Watching with Becky.
All right. With
Listen,
that,
I get 1%
exactly.
for the idea.
I don't mind sharing. It takes
All
a
right.
village, y'all.
Yeah.
I think we kind of conglomerated a lot of this stuff for the movie. And we're at the end of the podcast. So with that, there are some news. And with that, I'm going to bring up some news regarding Marvel or whatever's happening in Adrenaline Cinema Podcast. So the only thing that I have to give is Amber Mid-Thunder has been cast in Monarch Legacy of Monsters Season 2. So if you don't remember her, she was in the
She was in Prey.
Prey. Exactly. And she's going to be in Monarch Season 2. I actually did that with Ben Beck on the Podcastica Network as well as Wilhelm Podcast. So did, Rob. Well, I was on there too as well.
I
So,
was.
yeah. We covered Monarch at one point. So you can check that out as well on Wilhelm Podcast or podcastica.com. But that's the only news that I have as of right now. But for you, if you want to be get in touch with us for any sort of feedback for Panels to Pixels podcast, all you have to do is go to our Facebook group, which would be facebook.com/Panels to Pixels podcast. And just look at the images below of what we're actually doing and just make a comment. Or if you want to do and send out an email or a formal email, all you have to do is send it to panelstopixels1@gmail.com. And that's panels, 2 is spelled out, 2, T-O, or pixels, and then the number 1@gmail.com. Just write out your thoughts, and we'll read it on the podcast. Or if you want to feel the need to actually record yourself, which we all have these devices that's amazing. You have your phone, you have your computer, everything. Just record your thoughts and then just send it as an attachment, and then send that through the Gmail, which would be panelstopixels1@gmail.com. Everything comes through as far as with Facebook and Instagram when it comes to that. So, and then on top of that, you have the YouTube channel. So we could be found on YouTube, which would be Panels to Pixels podcast. And then just send your thoughts. Well, that's it for our show. I want to thank everyone for listening. I'm Mark.
I'm Robert.
And I'm Becky.
And this was Panels to Pixels podcast. Same podcast, different panel, different pixel. And we'll see you on the next panel. Good night, everybody.
Good night.